Hello, this is David. I am a graphic designer. I love movies. I love Pixar movies and Disney. And one of the things one of my weird quirks is that I don't look at previews. I don't look at movie posters. I don't look at anything before I see a movie because I'm really influenced by it a lot. I don't want to know anything about a movie before I see it. I know it's kind of weird. But so this is the first time I'm seeing the Onward poster. And one of the things I love doing is upon seeing a poster for the first time, I like looking for the underlying schematic, like the geometry that they used to make the movie poster look more harmonious and just overall give this overall sense of balance. And yeah, I guess balance is the best way to put it. So what I usually start with is just looking at the poster and seeing if I can identify any diagonals or curves or anything, and then I just get to work sort of mapping them out using lines. I'm using a particular program where I have to use these sort of images of lines. For some reason, they don't have lines. It was just like, did I just snort? Okay. So let's get to it. So basically, by the way, this took about an hour and I condensed it, just sped it up. So I start with a line and that's not the right line. So I went and found another line. But yeah, I usually just go ahead and see if anything catches my eye in terms of diagonal. So the windshield was a pretty strong one to begin with. So I just sent a line going across along that angle. And then usually, because it's going to be some geometrically balanced thing, I put a line going in the other direction just to see if there's anything that lines up going in the other direction. And so the first really prominent one going in the other direction was the staff. And I noticed immediately that it matched the slope of the mountain. And there's a lot of adjustment that I do as I go, but the first order of business is just to replicate the lines so they all stay along the same angle. And I see this leg and it shoots right toward where those two mountain ranges meet. Then I looked at the book and the shoe and I noticed that it lined up perfectly with the diagonal on the N in the word onward. And I realized that later on that it was really the font that influenced the angles. The book and let's see. And the top of the book, again, you can see how the N, it's perfectly in line. And a lot of these things are really just, they're just guesses, right? And in the end, it could be that there's a much better schematic. It's probably not exact. But yeah, just seeing what I can see, and then later I go in and do adjustments and start cleaning things up. At this point, I saw a curve in the younger brother's back. It looked like I wanted to see if a circle would solve that, and then just duplicate that because there's also a curve in the older brother. So I did that, and then I wanted to find a center line. So I chose the little dot between Disney and Pixar, and I went straight through the bottom of the W, which was really, really awesome. So in geometry, I think that's called a mirror line, and it just means that the lines going in each direction, I can line them up against that line so that we have a completely symmetrical schematic. Now notice that the bottommost line leading from the bottom left to the upper right is not exactly parallel to the other lines, which I find in a lot of schematics. And you notice that I'm putting the one in the other direction now. And but notice how the book has a line going against it. And now I'm trying to see if it works going in the other direction. And if it does, I can remove or just leave the parallel line that once was there. But ultimately, I'm going to remove it because I just don't think it's as prominent in the schematic. So still looking for other angles that might work on either side. So I'm doing a little erasing here. I lined up this line with the N just to see if something was there. But at this point, I want to do an overlay so I can look at the schematic and see where we're at. And I think we're pretty close. Not there yet, but we're very close. You can start to see where that reflection line or the mirror line is creating that perfect symmetry on either side. And of course this isn't exact because I'm using this janky program for this, but at least allows me to screen record it. So now I can sort of go by again just looking at what's on one side and creating the other. So notice how the O and the D have lines that are going through them. I later adjust them so that the lines just touch their bottoms, and or at least the sort of the bottom part, and becomes a little more symmetrical that way. Super close here. I think at this point I'm just looking to see if anything else pops out at me. The A, look at the A, the bottom of the A, and that mountain slope on the right. That was cool. So I do it on the left, and there's some pretty cool angle stuff going on there. This is where I match up the line with the bottom of the D. And the peaks, the lower peaks of that mountain range on the left-hand side ends up becoming, oh, here I'm playing with the color overlays. You get a little bit nicer view of the schematic. Yeah, and that's pretty much what I came up with, and I like it. I think it makes sense. That's the schematic. That's the schematic with the poster. Again, I have no idea if any of this is accurate, but it really is kind of spooky if it isn't, because there are just too many coincidences and alignments. So that's it. Anyway, the movie was great. I highly recommend seeing it. It's just a great story. Pixar did it again, I think, of letting us explore a new world and telling us an amazing story in the process. So definitely go see it. And if you like this and you want to see more, of course, follow and subscribe. But above all, share this with somebody that you think might enjoy it. That would be the best. Thank you so much. Bye. I had to come back and do the brother's right leg because I have a feeling. Oh, look at the A. What? Oh, that's nice. Yeah, this can't just be coincidence, can it? I guess the A and the W are the same. Let's do that. Oh, look at the hand. Let's duplicate that and just move it slightly so we can get it right along the leg. Yes, yes, yes. Now we're going to do the same, but going the opposite direction. Using the W. Whoa. Okay, cool. What? And the other W? That's pretty sweet. Oh, wow. The W, left side of the W lines up great with the leg of the right leg of the older brother. Although it's not exactly fitting the schematic, but that part of the W is. Whoa, that's cool. Yep, the book, the W. Okay, I think that does it.